What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our playthrough of Final Fantasy VII. My objective here is to give you a very in-depth run-through of a Final Fantasy straight from quite a few different guides. I'll be using the official Final Fantasy VII strategy guide in addition to multiple online walkthroughs and run-throughs to try to get the most out of this playthrough. Admittedly, this is going to be a somewhat high-level run. I'm going to do a whole lot of grinding. By the end of the game, we will be somewhere between level 70 and 80 for most of our main characters. For a lot of players, that's a little bit controversial. They don't want their players to be quite so highly leveled. They want a little more of a challenge by keeping their players a little bit more weak. I err on the opposite side of that. I aim on power leveling everybody, so I'll do quite a bit of grinding, but I'll do most of that off camera. I will, however, show you exactly where I'm grinding and why I'm grinding in whatever area I happen to be at. So we are doing Final Fantasy VII today, if that wasn't already made clear. This is a pretty fun game from, I think it came out in 1997 or so. I was only 3 years old back in those days, so I've never actually played this game all the way through. I've only seen my brother play it. I've played it about halfway through when I was just a kid, but I never actually finished it. So hopefully we'll be finishing this game together and to the best of everyone's abilities. So hopefully you can hear me okay. This is our first run through with the microphone and the system and the sound was coming through the TV. So here we go. We are going to be using the Steam release. I'm running this on a PC. This is a Windows 10 PC. I already have the configuration set up on my controller so that A is confirm and B is cancel. If you're using a traditional PlayStation controller, that would be X and circle, would be A and B respectively. Hopefully this works out okay. I know there are points in the game where what button you press matters and how it displays on the display versus how it is on the controller can be a little different, but I think we're going to be okay with our controller layout here. Playing this on an Xbox One controller. Again, the Steam release on a Windows 10. We're going to start a brand new game here. I've always loved this intro sequence here because this is the first time that you'd really be experiencing a three-dimensional Final Fantasy game chronologically. Before this we had Final Fantasy VI, which was a sprite-based, I want to call it a platformer, but I don't think it's a platformer, just a very two-dimensional game. And then we saw this 3D panoramic view of Midgar into the Final Fantasy logo. Call me crazy, but I think there's some Resident Evil imagery in this game, and I'll point it out when we get there. Just different things remind me of the Resident Evil franchise. Let me know if you think that as well. And right from the get-go, we get this awesome theme. Hopefully you can hear it okay. Alright, we are now in control of the character here. Let's take a look at our configuration settings here. Ex-Soldier is our main character's name. What could his name actually be? I don't know. Alright, we're going to put this all on recommended, all right in the middle. We will adjust this later on if we absolutely need to. Okay, I think this looks okay. The window color is just fine with the default blue. Blue is my favorite color. So, alright. Let's see, we can't get into many of our menus yet. We can't do too much. Alright, 4 potions, an ether, and a phoenix now. Not a bad way to start out the game. Here we go. There's no sprint shoes in Final Fantasy VII. You just have to hold down the B button, and it will actually sprint for you. This is the first battle of the game, ladies and gentlemen. A turn-based RPG. Nothing to worry about at the whole beginning portion here. Bang. I always love the end of the battle animation, how he just spins the sword, puts it on his back that way. That's just a really cool effect. I like that a lot. Alright, so we have 2, looks like downed conductors or soldiers that both gave us a potion, or one of us gave us a potion. Can't remember if the other one gave us a potion or not. And here we meet the team. Biggs, who's a staple in the Final Fantasy franchise. Alright, now we're going to name our character. For this playthrough, I'm going to keep our characters to the default names of Cloud, etc. Some people change their names. I don't. We're going to stick with it just where it is. So his name will be Cloud for our run-through. Alright, this is Barrett. He is the leader of this eco-terrorist group known as Avalanche. He's one of my favorite characters. Always has been one of my favorite Final Fantasy characters of all time. But remarkably, we're not going to use him too much in this playthrough. And bang, more 3D beauty coming out of Final Fantasy VII here. What do you want? Anything over here? Nope, nothing over here. Ooh. Yes, we do have random encounters in the game. I never get annoyed by those. I don't think they're too crazy in this game. I do get annoyed when it's like every other step you get into a battle and it just inhibits your progress with the plot. But I think Final Fantasy VII has a pretty good algorithm to determine what a good, encounter rate is for different battles, depending on where you are, obviously. Still, the enemies here are pretty weak, nothing to worry about. We're just going to kind of fight our way through the main portion here. Let's see what's in here. Can I go in here? No, I can't. Alright. Making our way around. Looks like we have a door through here. Awesome. And again, for later run-throughs, I'll actually cut out a lot of the random battles anyway, because you don't need to see me grinding, and you don't need to see every battle necessarily. I will show off as many battles as I possibly can that make sense, but I don't want to bog down this playthrough with a lot of unnecessary animations and things that once you've seen once or twice, you've generally seen. So I'm not going to show you too many of these things, but for a little while, you'll see everything. Apparently Wedge is a pyro. If you hold down these buttons, you can actually run away. We're not going to do that. I'm going to try to not run away from as many battles as I can. That's going to be unavoidable for the most part, or for a lot of this run-through, because well, sometimes you just have to run away to move along with the plot, or sometimes you just have to run away to save time. Otherwise, we would be playing this game from now until forever. Alright, back with the team here. So what I'm going to do is, Barrett is a long-range fighter. That means that he, essentially, he shoots he has a long-range weapon that hits the same from the back row as the front row. There's no reason for Barrett to be in the front row for any reason whatsoever. And I'm going to try to move where he is. If I can figure out how to actually get over there to the menu. Let's see. There it is. Hit the order button, Dale. Alright, so that's the way it should look right now, putting Barrett in the back row. That'll mitigate the damage that he takes, but also increase the amount of damage that he can do. Looks like they're both on level 6 and 7. They should be good to go. Again, this is an easy part of the game. The very beginning, right? Now, I didn't realize this was a secret area for a while. I didn't realize this was a bridge. It actually is, and it leads over into this area where you can pick up a Phoenix Down, I believe. Yeah, Phoenix Down. So don't forget your Phoenix Down on your run-through. And... oh my god. Let me in. There we go. You get the button. Looks like nothing over this way, I don't think. Heading on down. Ha! He missed. So if you're in a back attack situation that way, you can just kind of run away, and your characters will automatically turn themselves around to face the opponent. It's a good habit to get into, just to make sure that you're facing the right way and you don't take any unnecessary damage. The good news is that enemies here again are so weak that you don't have to worry about damage anyway. But you know, it's a good habit to get into for later on in the game when the enemies become substantially less of a tap on the shoulder and more of a bulldozer, I guess. Alright, all Jesse's going to do is tell us how to use ladders. Come on, there we go. Alright, now this pipe right here is a notorious little pipe in the Final Fantasy world. I'll see if I can get a encounter here with the enemy. On this pipe, you get an encounter with a walker mech type enemy, that guy. And he gives a whole lot of experience. And he is a machine, so he's extremely susceptible to lightning, which makes it a very easy fight for a whole lot of experience. And just like that, he's gone, ladies and gentlemen. Cool, so why is this pipe notorious? That is a whole lot of experience for this point in the game. Grinding as much as you can throughout the game will mitigate the amount of grinding you have to do later on. So I'm going to go ahead and keep grinding here for a few minutes. I'd say about 10 minutes or so I'm going to grind here. Just get a couple more levels to give us a little more of an advantage moving forward. You don't have to by any means. And I will be right back with you as soon as I'm done grinding. Okay, and welcome back. We, I don't know, spent about 6 or 7 minutes there grinding for a couple of very easy levels there. Nothing too dramatic happened, obviously, but just so you know, that's what we did. This is a save point. At a save point, you can do a number of things. You can use certain items. I don't have a tent in my inventory right now, but if I did, you could use a tent, or you could use, or you can save. Great thing to do is just wait. Come on. Oh, okay, that'll work. There it is. So now we have a save file at the #1 reactor. Pay attention to where these are throughout the entire game. These are really important, that way you don't find yourself in a situation where you lose a battle or something, or lose an opportunity and you can't go back and fix it later on. So using save points is something quintessential to success in any Final Fantasy game, especially this one, and I'll show you more examples of that later on. Alright, so this is the restore materia in front of us. I'll pick it up in just a second. Let's make sure all of our guys are good to go because we are on the verge of a boss battle. Looks like we could use some healing. Not very much. And looks like we're good to go otherwise. Magic, ice and bolt. Yep. Restore. Can't use materia quite yet. That's okay. And we're off. Here we go. And this is the first boss battle of the game. Arguably, this is the hardest boss battle of the game, too. I'm kidding. Not really. I believe he opens up by doing search scope either once or twice. What I'm doing here is I'm going to have Barrett just do physical attacks and heal the party. Cloud is going to do Bolt because even though this is a big guy, he is still a machine. He's still weak to Bolt. Once we get into the second phase of the battle, I'll show you what not to do. Let's see. Things look good so far. Search scope. Search scope is just the, I think it's with the guard scorpion. Yeah, just the guard scorpion. He's generally just showing us what, he's deciding who he wants to attack, basically. So we're gonna wait just a minute. Ooh. Cool, so here comes his tail. When his tail is up, do not attack him. If you do, he'll counter with tail laser, and that hurts. That is bad. So we'll use this time to heal the party if we need to. Having a grand total of like 30 points of damage so far, I'm not interested in healing up quite yet. We'll just wait a couple of minutes. We're going to put his tail down. Let's see. Let's just see if we can speed up the process here by throwing a potion on Cloud. Oh, there goes that. Now his tail's down, safe to go. You know, this is not that dissimilar from the first boss fight in Final Fantasy VI, too, though, with the Whelk, where after a while the front portion of the Whelk would disappear into his shell, and the idea was don't attack his shell, otherwise he'll counter with, I think it's like Gigavolt or Aravolt or something like that. So maybe it's a thing in Final Fantasy where the first boss, you just shouldn't attack it at certain points in time. Either way, I think we're nearing the end of this guy. He should be dying any time now, I hope. Scorpion Tail is his strongest move, with the exception of his tail laser. But again, nothing to worry about with this boss. Pretty straightforward. And just like that, the guard scorpion is no more. Awesome. So we do receive experience points for defeating bosses in Final Fantasy VII, and that's very nice. In Final Fantasy VIII, I don't think you do. You definitely don't in Final Fantasy VIII, because the goal in Final Fantasy VIII is to not level up. Weirdly. In FF7, though, the goal is to make you guys as strong as they possibly can be. We have a weapon here for Barret, which is the assault gun. Take everything and exit. We're going to quickly equip Barret with that assault gun, so he's good to go. Let's make sure all our guys are in good condition. Yep. Potion. Alright. And here we go. Ah, gotta go the other way. Cloud. Just like before, there are random enemy encounters all the way through. And we remember this guy, he's a fun guy. We'll take him out the same way we did before, with just a quick bolt, and he should be no more. You'll see that timer in the top left corner of the screen. Even when the timer is not on the screen, like during these kind of menus, the timer is still going. So don't think that just because you're in a particular menu that you can't actually, or that the timer isn't going down anymore, because it is. Alright, we're going to save right here at the number 1 reactor again on the way out. And all we're going to do is exit the exact same way that we came in. Very straightforward, very linear. If you wanted to, we could spend more time grinding here for even more levels, considering we're going to get a free heal in a few minutes, and we're going to get all kinds of other stuff in a few minutes, but I think we're going to move forward and press on with the plot. Make sure that you release Jesse's leg here. If you don't release Jesse's leg, you won't be able to make it through the door. You'll have to backtrack. But again, seriously, not a problem with this part in the game. Oh, there we go. When you attack, if you just leave the cursor over the guy that way and you hit the select button, you'll actually see what the name of the enemy is. This is pretty cool for effect. It doesn't change anything, but it shows you who you're fighting. In this case, it's Grunt. Creative, I know. Grunts are pretty much the easiest of the Final Fantasy villains in this game. One-hit kill on the lowest level possible. Now, we could exit through that door, and then we will end the sequence. Or we can grind for a few minutes. I'm going to choose the former. We're going to make it this battle, and then we're going to move on with the plot, ladies and gentlemen. Just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we have successfully made our entry into eco-terrorism. Code deciphered. And this is it, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, and we are flying solo now as Cloud. I don't think we can actually go this way. Let's see. No. Here and around the corner. You see how gothic this looks? Like, the wreckage here, this reminds me of a Resident Evil setting. It just does. I know there's people running around, and, you know, like Resident Evil was a little bit more fleshed out as far as graphics goes, and sprite design, but this looks like a Resident Evil set to me. We're gonna do this swanky kind of thing here, where Cloud's like, nothing. Hey. Should we buy it? Should we buy a flower? I think we definitely should buy a flower from the pretty girl. And once again, like, look at this. Like, look at this. The clock in the area, the checkered floor. I'm telling you, this is a Resident Evil cop-out. This definitely is. Hey, don't forget about this item right here. It's a potion, I think. Shouldn't be any shortage of potions in your life if you were grinding it all back in the reactor, but always good to pick up goodies where we can. At this point, you want to make sure that you make your decisions quickly. You can avoid all of these battles if you're quick enough. I'm actually going to take them all because I want the experience points, but if you want to skip them, you're more than welcome to. Yay! Easy experience points. No matter what you do, the soldiers will always respawn there. You can't actually beat them all here, no matter what you do. I mean, come on, they're only doing 4 points of damage. That's not too bad, right? This is one of those scenes that I cannot wait to see on the remake. You know, how is Cloud going to jump off the ledge onto a moving train that way? Just to have that realism with the PS4 remake is going to be incredible. It's going to be really cool. You know, now that I know what his voice is going to sound like in the remake from the trailer, it adds so much more depth to his character. I like Wedge's character a lot. We're going to be very optimistic here throughout our playthrough. Very friendly. Alright, to move on, you can't actually go this way. You'll get run out by those guards. We just talked to Jesse. Well, that was weird. Very good. Okay. To move on, you just kind of talk to Jesse. I'm not sure what's going to happen there. I had a hiccup on the my PC's battery started running low for some reason, so we'll see what happens with that. I hope that it's not too much of a cut in the playthrough. We'll see. Something I'm hoping for is a little bit of a romance between Cloud and Jessie. I think that they're hinting at something here. And then with like Cloud rescuing her with this close-up of the two of their heads, I think that would be a fun little dynamic to add to the characters. Another one of those really, really cool kind of 3D cutscenes, you know, just to show off the artistry of what the, you know, developers made when they created this game. They really thought a lot of details through, and that's very appreciative. It's very appreciated. It's very cool. I really love the environment of this game, especially the beginning. Now, the beginning is like one of my least favorite parts of the game because I feel like it drags. I feel very claustrophobic. Compared to like the open worldness of the Final Fantasy VI or other Final Fantasy games where they get you onto the map pretty soon. But you know, overall, I think that you know the design, the way it feels, the way your characters move around with the environment is spot on, perfect in this game. People meeting, partying, joy, sadness. After a while, it doesn't even get to you anymore. Like, just that line alone just sets the mood for what these people are going through in the slums underneath Midgar. Okay, so we are going back to the hideout now, so that Barrett can inform us as to what our next mission is going to be. We're going to sign off here, though, folks, for our first playthrough, our first part of our playthrough. I'm going to try to keep our parts to between 30 to 40 minutes or so, max. I don't want to do massive 2-hour-long playthroughs and things of the sort. As always, if you have comments on anything, please let me know. I hope that you can hear me okay. This is my first ever broadcast, my first ever stream. Something I'm looking to put on YouTube just to help other players like myself. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great time, or have a great night, have a great time. I will see you next time.